file from there. Well, why to use good practices? First of all, the OCA guidelines are based on the Odoo ones with some small modifications. Then it's really important to have a clean code with the same format and which is easy to understand for everybody, just so it facilitates the communication between all the people that contribute to the OCA. Well, now we will see the different ways that you can contribute, which can go from technical ways and more functional ways. Here are the different ways that we will see during the presentation. First, we will see that you can propose new ideas. Then we will see that you can review either functionally or technically. You can report bugs also, and you can translate. And then we will see the different ways that you can contribute through code. First of all, in all functionalities or in all the different ways that you can contribute, it's really, well, you must have you must own a GitHub account so that you can contribute. And then in the case that you want to propose a new functionality or you don't know how to solve it yourself, you can propose by going to the most appropriate project, and then from there create a new issue on the repository and writing a little description of what's your idea and why should it help, or and so on. Then we have reviewing. Well, you can review in a functional way or in a technical way. First, in a functional way, well, the README files from all the modules mainly are written from people from a technical background, which means that the description may not be so familiar for those who are more functional. So it's really important to maybe adapt those README files so that people can understand them better. Then also related to the first way that we have seen by contributing, we can suggest new improvements or improvements of functionalities already existing, or suggest new ones. And then you can test the module in different scenarios, so if you can find problems and then report them, and so on. And then in a technical way, you can always suggest changes on the code to improve the consistency, and always check that the OCA guidelines are being fulfilled, just so the pre-commit is passed and other checks. Then, by reporting a bug, you should always, like when you're trying a module and you find a problem, you should go to the module repository and then creating a new issue with this nomenclature, saying the first version or versions implied, then bug, and then the module name or module names if it's the case, and then a little description on how you should replicate the error and description maybe how it should be solved and so on. Then another way that you can contribute to the OCA is by translating the content, which it's done through the WebLate platform, which is a platform that helps us translate all the content from the OCA. And by doing it, you should go to this link and then register with your GitHub login. And once there, you should send an email by indicating which are the languages that you can translate to. And then once you get a response, you're all set to start translating the different content.
Okay, so now we will see the ways to contribute through code. First of all, we will see how to add a module, how to improve a module, to fix it, and to migrate it. So what's the problem to add a module? We find something, a problem, and it needs to be solved. Here, for example, we say we want to associate a contract with a maintenance equipment, and we still don't have it, so we will check in the repository if it already exists a module for that. If it doesn't exist, we will check the pull requests, open pull requests, and if we don't find any solution or any partial solution of that problem, we will try to start a solution for that. We will only add a module in the OCA if it's for a generic problem and it's not specific just for ours. Then we create the new module and we can post it in the most related project. Here would be in maintenance. So how we structure a module? Odoo defines some guidelines that they say you should structure the module in this way because all the contributors will check this module and know where are the files, what is this directory doing. So we will separate in models, in views, wizards, and etc. We will all follow the same guidelines. Then we have to license this module. We will usually use this AGPL license for almost all the modules, but for some of them, they will be generic, and you want other people to use it as a dependency in their private repository. So you can use this LGPL license. They will use your module as a dependency, and they can use it in a private way. Then, once you added a module, we can also see how to improve it. You can have two ways to improve a module. You can add an entire functionality to a module, or just improve an existing one. Once you improve it, you add the code, and you check everything is all right, it's recommended to add new tests to that module, the code that you added, because you cover that code and you check that this is working well for the future. Once you finish this improvement, you can push it on a repository, create the pull request with exactly this nomenclature, and it's important to add a detailed description of what you're doing, why you are doing that, steps to reproduce this improvement, and so on. Then we can also fix the module. We can either find that there's a bug, or we can find in an issue that someone says, hey, in this module we find a bug, but we don't know how to solve it, so we can fix it. And once we fix it, we apply all the changes, create a pull request with this nomenclature, always with fix, telling everyone that we are fixing something, and specifying what we are doing. Then, an important part of the OCA, to migrate modules. What is to migrate a module? It's just to upgrade a module from one version to a newer one. Here we would upgrade from version 15 to version 16. And to do that, we will follow some steps. What do we have to do before migrating? First of all, we have to check in Issues tab of the repository, check open PRs, if that module is being migrated or is already started to migrate from another person. If we find that it's not started, we have to check module dependencies to know if they are migrated. If they are not, we will start from the dependencies. And once all of this is done, we can start to migrate. We notify in the repository, hey, I want to start to migrate this module, and I will understand how it works functionally or technically. Then, what's the migration process? First of all, I prepare the environment, I pull the repository, I create a new branch, I take all the history of that module from the previous version with the authorship of the all history, and then I can start to, I pass the pre-commit, and then I can start to modify. The stage of modification, we usually just change the number of the version, but sometimes we need to add changes in the attributes of the models or in the functions. We will see. But once we finish these modifications and we think that it's all done, we have to verify it, just check that all tests passes, and also check it functionally. If we check it and it's everything all right, we can push it to the repository and open a PR. Here we have a link that you can follow that they explain all the steps of that migration, and you will know what to do in every step. Then now we will explain a little bit just some conclusions and tips that we give to you from this time that we've been working with the OCA. We saw that OCA repositories are getting big, and we need more active people there. We need you, and just if you don't know how to code, you can report bugs, you can just help commenting, review functionally modules. There's a lot of things to do, and we need people to just help and contribute.
Yeah, and as we have seen, there are many ways that you can contribute. You don't have to be a technical people. You can always contribute via in a functional way, and
then, well, the last conclusion is we always, when we open PRs, when we comment, we have to be nice with each other, be respectful, and just understand the other person. Maybe the other person doesn't have the same level as us, but we can help each other, and this is what OCA is, to make a community and help us between each other.
And also, two small tips that we came up with. It's always really important to review before doing, because if you don't know how other people are working on or how are solving a problem, you will not be able to solve it yourself.
And the last one, but not less important, it's better quality than quantity. We need to think what we're doing and not just add code without thinking the best way to do it. That's all from our side. If you have questions, we will answer to it, or we will try it. Okay. So thank you very much, and that's all.